For the last 90 years, we couldn't even imagine that the new president of our country would begin his first day at work with prayer and being blessed by a priest. But if this is happening today, it means that Ukraine has a great chance to have a peaceful present and a glorious future. I realize the responsibility that I am taking for what I'm about to say now. But I can truly say my government will not steal. I know it seems miraculous for Ukraine. I know that the number one problem of this country is corruption. And I'm still telling you, not only will the government not steal, but the government will also not take bribes. The first thing we will do is we will break the chain of corruption, and we will set the system so that the ministers won't take bribes. Who could think that after the regime of totalitarianism and communist officials, the new president of Ukraine would proclaim biblical principles? If we want to raise our economic level, we have to obey the commandments that God gives in scriptures. Don't steal. We can only attain positive reformations in all spheres of our lives by keeping the spiritual laws. A new time demands new methods. Faith has become the foundation of the new government's program, and 4 out of the program's 6 sections are dedicated to moral questions. The first part of the program relates to the rebirth of real faith in God in our society. If officials seek after godly wisdom, according to the spiritual law, the country will succeed. We have great faith, and faith gives strength. This is the only source of what we have called the Orange Revolution. We have to renew the faith of man in himself. This is our basis. And we know that the government was working in a way not to compromise the freedom of the individual. We have to remove all that prevents people from exercising their democratic freedoms. This program will create faith in the steadfastness of our steps and in the final revival of the social energy, creative potential, and high civil position. For the first time in history, a woman has become Prime Minister of our country. Having suffered enough from past officials and gone through the Orange Revolution, she came to the government with a clear understanding of her tasks. Arrest, incarceration, persecution of relatives, and the prosecution's antics made Yulia Tymoshenko seek for strength and security in the Lord. And only God, who sees the motives of the heart, has brought her out of all the difficulties with triumph and has entrusted her with this responsibility. During this election, Ukraine became the center of the world's attention. Ukraine is not only our hope, but also the world's. So if we are talking about the faith of our nation in Ukraine, I want to tell you that everyone sees our country and our nation today as the country that is carrying a unique mission to the world. We can set completely new standards for social and political life. Yulia Tymoshenko's speech is very encouraging. Faith in Jesus Christ was the center of her speech. I think that without faith and without God, all those declarations will just stay words. I especially like the speech of our President and the Prime Minister that today we should believe in God, because it is impossible to rule the world without God. Ukraine has to be a spiritual country, full of righteousness, peace, and joy. There is another woman in the government, the Minister of Culture, Oksana Belozia. We congratulate you, Mr. Yushchenko, and all your family, and together with you, all the nation of Ukraine, we congratulate you all with the long-awaited victory. As a true believer and a well-loved artist of Ukraine, she is working with the leaders of different Christian denominations and partaking in various charity actions. If all that is happening in Ukraine is controlled by God, he has an excellent sense of humor. I say this because he put Alexander Turchinov, whose family was persecuted for their religious convictions by the KGB during Soviet times, as the head of the Ministry of Security. We are offering you publicly a clear and responsible policy. We must regain our consciousness. We have to look differently at the processes to which we have gotten used to during the last 14 years. The members of the old post-communist regime became its first victims. All the tracks must be covered. Banker Yuri Lach, Minister of Transport Georgy Kirpa, ex-Minister of Internal Affairs Yuri Kravchenko. Who's next? How many victims still need to be sacrificed on the altar of this monstrous regime? Of course, you can make the witnesses and partakers of crime be silent forever. But all that is hidden eventually comes to light, and a system built on sand cannot stand forever. Seeing the sufferings of the nation of Israel in Egypt, the Lord called Moses. He was to bring his nation out of bondage and lead them into the promised land. If Ukraine strives to get out of the deadlock and enter a period of prosperity, it has to value its Moses and follow him just as he follows the Lord. The Lord has answered, and he is taking us out of Egypt. The merciful Lord, through the election campaign, is entrusting you to lead this nation into the future. God has special plans concerning this nation. The Lord has chosen you, and he will bless you. Be strong and brave, because you will do so that this nation will take that land which I have promised to give to your fathers. Be very strong and brave. The king is kept by wisdom and righteousness. The God of goodness and truth has defined spiritual rebirth for Ukraine. God said that Ukraine is a new country, and no one will change it. Nothing and no one will stop this revival. This is not just a revolution. This is the revival of the Holy Spirit. Man has not done it. It was done by the Spirit of the Lord. And he is the one that guarantees that this move won't stop. The new Ukraine is entering Europe. This is the newspaper. It is called the Embassy of God. Yes, I see it. What's next? I just want you to see it. Okay, I see it. Please go on. The spreading of this confrontational material took place directly inside the tent city on Kreshchatyk, the center of Kyiv.
Среди активистов помаранчевой революции благодарственными письмами и грамотами президента отмечены многие прихожане посольства Божьего, в том числе и старший пастор Sunday Adelaja.
A new Ukraine means, first of all, a people with a new mentality, not indifferent, but active and conscious citizens who take responsibility for their country. We hope our country will finally wake up from the lethargic stupor it was in for the last 10 years. During all 3 election rounds, I was a member of the election committee in the Donetsk region, in the city of Dzerzhinsk. They didn't receive us very well. For 12 hours, we couldn't get out of the bus because they had it surrounded. They said many unpleasant things against us. They were dissatisfied. But despite all that, we did everything we had to do according to the law. I urged many people to go to Maidan, to not be indifferent towards their country, their lives, and to this new time. God is changing the society of Ukraine. I want to be myself. I want to speak my own language. I want to be proud that I am Ukrainian, that I am living in this country, in Kyiv. We will use our constitutional rights and won't forget about our obligations.
Відірвавшись вранці зі свого ліжка, ти сказав вже досить. Потрібні зміни, голова на плечах, цілі прогресивні. Треба взяти в руки справи в Україні. Твоє слово варте, в ньому воля, сила. Коли ти мовчиш, не сподівайся на диво, щоб змінити світ, починати з себе. Треба, я вірю в тебе.
We have one Ukrainian destiny. We have one Ukrainian pride. We are proud that we are Ukrainians. We will become first. We will become the best. I'll do all that I can for everyone, for every Ukrainian to believe in his own strength, to believe in his own country, and to believe in his land. We have already proven that we can both dream bravely and work heartily. We are ready for self-sacrifice, and we are able to reach success. We are beginning a new page in Ukrainian history. This is not just optimism. The words of sincere faith come from the firm convictions of the politician of the new time. With God's help and by His grace, we'll see this all come true. Believe in Ukraine, love Ukraine, and serve Ukraine. Glory to you, to every one of you. Glory to the Lord God, and glory to Ukraine.
My dear nation of Ukraine, our highly respected guests, dear citizens of Ukraine, dear Kreshchatik and Maidan, today Ukraine is free and independent. We have shrugged off the heavy load of the past. No longer will someone tell us how we should live and for whom we should vote. For the first time in the history of independent Ukraine, the newly elected president Viktor Yushchenko swore himself into office with crowds of people as witnesses, just as in the times of Hetman Republic. And again, We came to Maidan to see the grandiose inauguration of our hope. We want to congratulate all people of all goodwill, first of all for the nation of Ukraine. And we want